Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was going to save this recipe to do during December, but you guys, you know what? This is so good. I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. So these are some no-bake keto cookies. It makes a fabulous keto tray for your holiday table. So if you want to make these for Thanksgiving, I thought I'll go ahead and put them out now. So in case you guys want to make them. So let's get into the video. Okay, so we're going to start with one that is called a holiday praline no-bake cookie. I added chocolate chips to it to make it more of a chocolatey flavor to it as well. I will have all these recipes linked down below. So in a saucepan here, I am adding in 4 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And then also to that pan, we're adding in 1/2 cup of sweetener. As you guys know, I use monk fruit sweetener. You can use any kind of sweetener you want. And then also 1/2 cup of heavy cream. So we're gonna melt all this together, bring it to a boil, and then we will let it simmer for 10 minutes. And once it starts to, this is what it kind of looks like when it starts to boil. So you want to get it to this point and let it boil at this point for about 10 minutes. I did turn mine down just a little bit too low and it wasn't really getting thick. So what you want to do is you want to let it get a little bit thick. So after 10 minutes, this is what your consistency will look like. And then we're going to add in 1 cup of unsweetened coconut flakes and 1 cup of chopped pecans. And then you're going to also add in some vanilla. Should be a teaspoon. You guys know, don't measure vanilla. No point in it. It's so good. And then you're going to give that a stir. And what I did was you could let this cool a little bit and then add in your chocolate chips, but I wanted my chocolate chips to be a little bit melty. But if you want whole chocolate chips, then I would suggest you definitely letting this cool down a little bit before you add in the chocolate chips. But I added mine right in because I wanted, like I said, I wanted them to melt just a little bit so there was more of a chocolatey flavor throughout the entire cookie. So you want to add in 1/2 cup of sugar-free chocolate chips. I'm using the Lily's semi-sweet chocolate chips is what I am using in mine. And then you're going to get a piece of parchment paper out, and then you're just going to scoop these onto the parchment paper. Now, you can make them as big or as small as you want. And once you get them all on your parchment paper, then you're going to put these into the freezer and let them set up for at least 10 to 15 minutes until they are firm. They firm up pretty quickly. And I will show you those when we get them all done. So we're going to go on to our next cookie. Our next cookie is a no-bake brownie bite. So in my food processor here, I'm adding in 1 cup of whole walnuts and then adding in some sea salt. And then we're going to process this until they are finely ground and they will look like this. And then next up, we're adding in a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. This is unsweetened dark cocoa powder is what I'm personally using. Use whatever kind you'd like. As long as it's unsweetened, then it'll be keto friendly. And then you're going to add in 1/2 cup of nut butter. I'm personally using almond butter. I'm using the almond butter from Costco. And then you're going to add in 1/4 cup of sweetener. Again, I'm using the monk fruit sweetener from Keto. And then we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, about a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're going to process this until it's all mixed up. And then you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. And it does say in the original recipe that you may need to add more coconut flour if you need it to bind together. But mine was pretty good, so I didn't have to add any more coconut flour to it. So you want to start out with 2 tablespoons and just go from there. And I decided to use white chocolate chips for these, so I'm using these Bake Believe sugar-free white chocolate chips, and I'm just going to put them in my processor and just pulse it until they are nice and blended within. And then I'm just going to form these into balls, put them on some parchment paper, and then these will go into the freezer as well until they're nice and set up, and I will show those to you again when we are done with all 3 recipes. Okay, so this last recipe is a no-bake gingerbread bite. So in your bowl here, you want to add in 8 ounces of melted butter. Yes, a lot of butter in this. So that's 2 sticks if you did not know. So 2 sticks of butter melted, 2 cups of almond flour. I like to use personally the almond flour from Costco, the blanched almond flour. And then you're going to add in 1/2 cup of sweetener. Again, I'm using the monk fruit sweetener. And then you're going to add in about 3 teaspoons of ginger and 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. And that is it, you guys. This is so simple. And these ones turned out really good. They were probably the easiest ones to roll. And so once you get everything all mixed up, you're going to form these into balls. And I just use my small cookie scoop and just form these into balls. And then these also will go into the freezer until they're nice and chilled and solid. And here you go, guys. What you've been waiting for. Here is what all 3 of these cookies turned out to look like. These are amazing, you guys. I tried all of them. They are super good. Probably my favorite definitely is the holiday praline cookie. It is fantastic. I can guarantee I'll be making a double batch of these when it comes Thanksgiving time and also at Christmas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Again, down below in the description box, you will have all the recipes. Also, if you guys are not subscribed, I hope you guys will take some time to do so and also hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Also, if you try any of these, would you please tag me on social media so I know that you guys are enjoying my recipes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.